All right, welcome to Pound It Live. This is Tooch, part of the Pound It Sports team. And Anthony and I are going to go over some of the NFL action for today, talk a little breakdown, some games, talk about the best angles to betting this weekend's NFL action. It's a tough day, Anthony. You probably agree. We're going to go over a few games, but tough to find a lot of edge in here. What's the first game you want to talk about?
Let's go with the early game. Let's go with the Giants and Jaguars. A
All
lot of
right.
interest in this one.
Man, okay, so you and I have been talking about this before the game about the line, which is -3 +3, and lots of money on the Giants. The public is all over the Giants at +3, and it hasn't dropped to +2.5 because then people would take the Jaguars. Maybe a lot more people would take the Jaguars -2.5. So my suspicion is that the books don't want us to take the Jaguars, so I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Yeah, 100%.
Hold your nose.
That's one thing about this season that me and you have talked about it throughout the season, and some of our buddies that pointed out to us.
Yep.
They said all the money's on the other side. I'm going to take the other side just because of the public. And we're like, no way. How can you take that? Like, for example, the Chiefs. The Chiefs -7 on Monday night a few weeks ago. Number one, I didn't like the Chiefs -7, but there's no chance in hell I could take the Raiders +7 the way they were playing on the road in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, it was 86% of the money was on the Chiefs. Well, look at the turnout. The Chiefs were lucky to win that. They shouldn't even have won that outright.
Yeah.
They had no right to win that. And then last week, the sole purpose, I told my brother who I was in Vegas with, and I said, Rams -10. All the money is on Panthers +10. He's like, there's no way. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, you have to go with the Panthers. I'm like, I don't even have to look at anything. Just look at the percentage. Well, the Rams won by 14, but right before that, Panthers were driving in. I think it was Darnold who was throwing in the red zone, and they're about to throw a touchdown, which would have lost the cover. I was like, I'm telling you, something's going to happen. A turnover on downs is going to happen, and the Rams are going to cover. Well, there was an interception in the end zone. Like I told you, it's just like clockwork. The NFL, I don't want to say is fixed, but it's starting to get predictable to a point where it's kind of easy in a way.
It certainly looks fixed to where you and I always talk about, man, is it? And in fact, on Weekend Sports Betting Tips, we've talked about it, and on some other shows on Barroom Network talked about how maybe we had an NFL ref guy on last week on Bare Your Souls, and I wanted to ask him, hey, how often do the refs get a call from the sports books during the game? But I'm not going to ask him. But it appears fixed because of things like the Giants Jaguars line, where it really the whole thing about the line and line value is to entice bettors to take the wrong side, and when you see certain lines like sketch like this a little bit, when you see lines like this, an average bettor doesn't know this, because they've just gotten into mobile sports betting on their phone with DraftKings or FanDuel or BetMGM or whatever you're playing on. You have to look, go outside of the app and look on other sites and see where all the money is. I'd see has the line moved. Look at the line movement, the history of the line. So this one, give me the Jaguars -3. I hold my nose. I'll take the Giants have gotten lucky in a lot of their games. By all indications, they probably shouldn't be 5-1. Hey, a win is a win. In the end, they don't care how you won; they care how many wins. So, give me the Jaguars, Anthony.
Yeah, there's 3 games in particular that are big money sides this week, and one of them is the Giants. The other one is the Seahawks. Seahawks are the number 1 most bet of all across the board where all the money is. Well, hell, I'm taking the Chargers -5.
Right.
I mean, the Seahawks had the worst pass defense in the league, but they're also the number 1 scoring team in the league.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen last week when I had the over and bit me in the ass. But overall, I'm on the Chargers on this one. You just gotta fade those +80%. you're gonna win more than you lose overall, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I have learned specifically this season. And
I like
we see it.
I like the over in that game. Both these teams are scoring about 28 points a game. Yeah, the Chargers didn't score a lot against the Broncos, but the Broncos, have a pretty good defense, and the Jaguars have beat up on offense, have beat up on the Chargers beat up on offense, beat up on this. I don't trust. So for me, it's a stay away, except for the total on this game.
Yeah.
I don't like the Chargers. I mean, I would be on that side. I just hate the number, and I don't trust the Chargers to cover more than a field goal. But
you're not supposed to like it. That's the point.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like it. Exactly.
Like yesterday, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yesterday, I gave out a free play video on California plus 7.5. That was the ugliest play that I was even like, I hate this play.
Couldn't touch it.
They covered. Plus, they lost by 7. You played plus 7.5. You won. It's not about how good the play looks. It's the end result. I hate to say it like that, but it's sports. You have to think outside the box. You need to take a step back and say, okay, and it's hard to explain, but that's what we do here at Pounded Sports. I mean, we have to look outside the box, and we get the info.
Yeah, I couldn't take that one. I liked the over in that game, but I was wrong. They didn't score enough points. Well, Huskies average 42 points a game, and they could get to the over.
True.
But the Giants Jaguars, I would lean over as well.
Yeah, I would lean the over 100%.
Yep.
Let's get to the next one. There's another big public game. This is the third big public play of the week. Everybody's on the Niners. Everybody's all horny over the Niners. I like the Chiefs. I can't help it. I cannot help it.
Yeah, I mean, my head tells me to take the Chiefs. My heart tells me to take the Chiefs because, it's a great offense. It's a great quarterback. You compare the two quarterbacks, and there's not much of a comparison. One is heads and shoulders above the other. But the way that this, the public's all over the Chiefs, that the 49ers were embarrassed by the Falcons last week. Embarrassed. They got run out of the building. You don't think Shanahan's got something cooking up to, today. And they did add Christian McCaffrey. I don't think he's going to play much. So this one's it's a tough game for me. I didn't play it. My initial lean would be the under. You have two pretty good defense. Yeah.
I like the under on this one. The Niners, I just don't see the Niners having a really bad defense like they did last week.
Yeah, exactly.
More of a close game.
They get some of their guys back too on defense.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I really like the Chiefs. I can't help it.
Yeah,
it's my homie. I mean, one thing I did a teaser and a 7-point teaser, and I told you before the game, and you're like, "Oh, your weakness is the Chiefs +6," and I said, "Tell me the last time the Chiefs lost by more than 6 points."
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. Not in the last 10 games for sure. They've either won or lost within 4.
Yeah.
So they don't lose they don't get blown out. So could they lose by 1 in this game or win by 1 or I don't know. It's wild. I mean, they get Bosa back. They get Trent Williams a tackle back. They get most likely Eric Armstead on the defensive line. They might have Hufanga back. They might have. They should have Ward back at cornerback and McGlinchey back at the other tackle. But they were banged up against the Falcons. So I mean, a little. Unfortunately, I didn't put enough into my handicap last week of how banged up the 49ers were and the Falcons, who we're going to talk about next, actually. But
the only person that I knew was high on the Falcons last week was my brother. I'm sitting next to him in Vegas, and he's got his Falcons plus for first half. I think it was +3 first half, and he hit for the game. I was like, dude, how can you touch such a tough game? That's horrible.
And it really wasn't, though. When you look back at it, it wasn't tough at all.
It wasn't.
I know.
And then when they came out fired, he's like, I told you. I'm like, unbelievable.
And here's why, because it's the same thing. You and I, we're like, look, the 49ers are a fucking way better team. They'll
Yeah,
probably be in
100%.
the NFC Championship. But this week they're banged up. The Falcons are 5-0 against the spread. So your brother was just like, why not?
Well,
Right?
my brother has
Everybody's
a
on the
formula.
49ers.
My
Everybody
brother
was
has
on
his
the
little
49ers.
formula. Yeah.
Yeah, but the public was all over the Niners.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, the
Yep.
play was the Falcons. I know the public doesn't lose all the time. That's what we always try to tell G-Dog, our other colleague. But the public sometimes wins. It's about, I don't know, the public sometimes wins like maybe 45 to 47% of the time.
100%. 100%.
So, but
All
yeah,
right, let's get to the next one.
you're on the
Falcons
Chiefs.
and
I'm on the
Bengals,
under
yeah.
for that one. Yeah, this one,
Yeah.
Falcons are 6-0 against the spread. And here's another one where a team has played close games, man. The Bengals. Look back.
And the Bengals.
Yeah, look back at the Bengals. Their games, when was the last time they beat someone by 6.5 points? Right?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
They beat
Bengals this season.
This season they beat Miami at home, 27-15. They won at the Jets 27-12. But look back, they lost their first two games. They lost at Pittsburgh. They lost at home to Pittsburgh in overtime. They lost at Dallas. Then they had two games where they had double-digit wins. So they're capable of double-digit wins. This is
Right.
the public is all over the Bengals.
Yeah, and they're a big public play. Everybody, again, they're all horny over the Joe Burrow and
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase combo, which as well as they should, but damn well that the bookmakers put that in the line.
Yeah.
It's a public perception play. It's when you see 6.5 and 2.5. That's the odds maker waving a cookie in front of you saying, come on, we want you to take it, take it, take it. Come on, take it. That's exactly what it is. We said that on the show yesterday in the Barroom Network. When you see 6.5 and 2.5, Sean Higgs said it perfectly yesterday.
They want you to
take
the Bengals. Yep.
But it's the ugliest play to take the opposite, but it's the right play. Long term, because we're not in this for the short term. Long term, you're going to win if you take the opposite of that. So.
Yep. That's 100%. 100%. So the Falcons, what they're going to do if they want to win this game, they're going to run the ball, and they're one of the best teams running the ball. I know they don't have Cordero Patterson, but they run the ball with their quarterback. They run the ball with the other backs they have back there. Not sure if I don't think they get Cordero back this week. Let me see.
I don't think so. I wish they did, but yeah.
Yeah, he's out still, but they do have
the
other
line
guys.
The line probably would have been 4 if that was the case.
Right.
Or maybe 6. So
they got other guys that can run the ball. But they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball on the Bengals. They're going to run the ball on the Bengals, and they don't get a lot of pressure. So, but they'll try and get pressure against that Bengals offensive line, which hasn't been great.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the Bengals offensive line is healthy.
Yeah, 100%. And let's get to the free plays too. That's what everyone's looking for,
Yep.
So let's get to the free plays. You want to shoot first?
Yep. I got Josh Jacobs over 2.5 receptions. I think that the number's too small. The books are disrespecting Josh Jacobs. He's had 5 receptions in the past 3 games. So they're playing the Texans. I think Derek Carr. And Josh Jacobs is on the field all the time. They barely take him out. He has a huge snap share percentage. So
the last 2 games he scored 4 touchdowns, and the only reason I know that offhand is because I have him on my fantasy team. To start the season, he was like, he's not doing too well. I don't know. I'm hesitating to start him.
Yeah.
2 games ago, 3 rushing touchdowns, almost 30 points for me. Last game, I think it was the Chiefs, rushing touchdown. I was like, all right, he's back on track. So over 2.5 receptions is a phenomenal play if you can get that. So I love that free play. And then my free play is Zach Wilson under 181.5 yards. I'm going to be very blunt when I say this. The dude can't throw for shit. He's got phenomenal receivers, but he doesn't know how to use them. All he does is
doesn't throw to
Breece
him.
Hall. He doesn't throw to him. And on top of that, they're playing, in my opinion, one of the top defenses in the league. This defense shut down Justin Herbert, and
I
everybody
know.
knows the Justin Herbert prop.
No
So if you
touchdown
score a
passes.
touchdown on DraftKings for minus 800, it's even money. He stopped Justin Herbert from hitting the passing touchdown. So
Unbelievable.
imagine Zach Wilson, who can't throw for shit, in this one. So I'm under 81.5 yards rushing. And there's one thing I like about the coach for the Jets. He's not making this offense do too much. He's making them run the ball, short passes, throw ball deep here and there. But he's very smart on how to manage Zach Wilson, because he knows Zach Wilson's not like a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a high performance guy. He's just got to manage the game, and any average quarterback can do that. Zach Wilson is an average at best quarterback. So under 181.5 yards passing is my free play today.
Yeah, I like it. It's the same thing. It's like they held the Chargers down, and they're going to hold the Jets down. I mean, the Jets may, I think this would be a really low scoring game. I looked at the total, though. I think it's only like 40 for this game. Let me see here. Just punch it up real quick. At 36.5 now. I can't take that under. It'll probably go under.
It probably will go under, but I just can't touch it. It's going to be a field goal game.
Yep.
You know what? Before we end the show, because it's getting kind of late, don't be surprised if the Broncos win this. And then the controversy tomorrow of Russell Wilson or this scrub playing. So,
yeah, Russell Wilson's not playing. He's got a hamstring. So
all the money's coming on the Jets.
Yep, that's why the line dropped from 38 to 36.5, because they don't think Brett Rippon might sling it better than Russell Wilson, man. I don't know. I'm tempted to kind of take the over in this one, but I can't with the Broncos at home, the defense. But
it's not worth it.
Half a mind to take the over.
Yeah, not worth it.
No, it's not worth the play.
All right, that was a great show. Hope everyone got some good info. Free plays, definitely play them. We've been killing our free plays on here, so everybody have a great day.
I haven't been. You've been killing it. I haven't been. I'm a little close.
You have been. You're just hitting 500 for the most part. Where everyone gets in those spurts.
I'm telling you.
500.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. It's NFL Sunday. It's time to turn everything around. So everyone have a great day. You too.
I'll roll the same until we get our outro. So.
All
right.
There we go.
Well, later.